It's Ken for our MBA 504. Today is just me with you because my son is sick. My wife is no longer being to take the video for me, so I'm doing it. I'm taking the recording myself. I put a border on this board so that just telling me that without having the flares, without blocking the areas, that is supporting the portion that I'm going to talk today about week 4. Okay, actually week 4 and 5 together is doing our module number 3, chapter 5, the time value of money. Time value of money is important because it is a foundation of the model of discounted cash flow model in finance. So time value of money is important. It will give us later, okay, sooner or later you will see me in MBA 540. If I behave, I'm not fired. Okay, we are going to talk about discounted cash flow model in valuation. So chapter 5 in week 4 and week 5 are focusing on the basics of the time value of money. So in this week, again, focus on PowerPoint slides from number 3 to number 25. And next week, we are going to finish from slide number 27 to slide number 55. So what are we going to discuss or what I would expect you to see or read or practice in this week is having about 4 portions. Number 1, the concept of time value of money. Okay, what is it? The key idea is if I have money, I save it, or if I have money, I invest it. Over a certain period of time, I will earn some income or profit or interest. So using money over time will generate some value. We cannot ignore that. And for dollar amount, okay, if we have the same amount of dollar, but in different time periods, we should have different value. So for example, if I receive $1 million as of today, versus I receive $1 million after 1 year, these 1 million has different values over time. Because if I receive money, I can make the investments, and I can earn something over the 1 year period by holding it and investing it. So the concept is important. Okay, the concept of time value of money. Number 2, I would call it drawing. Drawing what? Timeline. Keep in mind, in the timeline, we have 2 important elements. The first one is the time points. The second one is the cash flows. We have the example. For example, you are going to pay a tuition at the beginning of each semester. In your program, we are going to have 2 years and 4 semesters. So on the timeline, I have 4 semesters. So these time points are showing me the beginning of the first semester, the end of the first semester, also the beginning of the second semester, the end of the second semester, also the beginning of the third semester, the end of the third semester, and also the beginning of the fourth semester, the end of the fourth semester. But if I would pay, for example, $5,000 in tuition payment, I prefer to use cash arrows. Okay, so I can write down at the beginning of each semester, I'm paying $5,000 tuition. That is the beginning of the first semester, beginning of the second semester, beginning of the third semester, and the beginning of the fourth semester. Downward arrows were with negative signs representing a negative cash flow. I'm paying out a cash outflow. Okay, cash inflow, if I receive money, that is a cash inflow. Then, third thing, a single cash flow. How do you make the judgment? I said like on the timeline, if you see only one future value or future cash flow on the timeline, that is a single cash flow case. From our class notes, to wrap up, 4 parameters. With 4 equations. They are present value, future value, R, and N. N or little n doesn't make a big difference. Okay? Formula. Okay, and more importantly, calculation. The single cash flows. And in this week, we'll also go to multiple cash flows, which means on the timeline, you will see multiple future cash flows. In this week, I just want you to focus on the general equation and distinguish between the present value of a multiple cash flows versus the concept of net present value. Okay, important. In the present value of a group of future cash flows calculation, you do not include the cash flow as of today. While in the net present value calculation, it must include, if it is possible, the current cash flow as of today at timeline time 0. Okay, so that's the brief outline for this week's study, and I will later provide you the practice questions. And I plan to do the same thing as we did in week 3. You finish your practice by Saturday, and you will have if you by Saturday, okay, I'll give you the feedback. And then next week you will have Sunday and Monday to finish your last exam. Okay, just keep in mind the last slide in the PowerPoint. Okay, we have the timeline, the time concept. Okay, and so we have what is the time value of money. Okay, the diagram to draw the timeline. And this week, single cash flows. And for the multiple cash flows, okay, we discussed the general case. Okay, that's the end for week 4. Week 5, we're going to finish this portion, and we're going to finish this portion. That's it. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please email me or call me or stop by during my office hours. See ya. Bye-bye.